Hello and welcome back. What do we have here? The old Georgia Guidestones. I just got onto this because I think it's something that everyone should actually understand. These magical stones that appeared, otherwise known as the Ten Commandments of the Illuminati. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. But first, I wanted to chat. I mean, I was just out having a bit of chat with my neighbour. I like to chat with my neighbours. I like people, and before I was targeted, I didn't even know that people capable of what targets are being put through actually existed. I guess you'd call them psychopaths, sadists, very, very sick people. Essentially, but yeah, my neighbour, she's great. They've tried to get me to blame her a number of times. This little AI or whatever the hell it is, that's the chatterbot. But yeah, and they've even imitated her voice and stuff, so it's quite interesting. Yeah, they can do ventriloquism and all the kinds of stuff. Ventriloquism, imitation, whatever you want. But yeah, I was chatting to her and she was telling me about her, that her family, like about her two daughters and stuff, and how they've both sort of become cold towards her over the last years and stuff. And yeah, it's a very common tale. She was speaking with another of her friends who come by and she said the same thing. And I mean, I basically said to her, it's pretty obvious what's happening here. Like part of the agenda that we're currently all suffering under is to divide and conquer, right? So what better way to divide and conquer than to split families? And so you'll see this in couples being turned against each other, particularly if they've got kids, I imagine. That's probably happening more. You can use your imagination as to why they'd want to do that. Of course, getting the children out on their own and all that sort of stuff. Creating single parent families, but even then breaking up the parent and the children, like separating the parents from the children, isolating people, dividing people, divide and conquer. It's pretty obvious and old school, like the oldest trick in the book, really, isn't it? And so, the beast system is in pretty much everyone's heads, whether they realise it or not. I think the jabbed are less likely to understand that. I think they've been done a number on. And then you've got the conscious ones, which are the ones who are saying, "Oh, I'm hearing voices," and everyone thinks that they're the crazy ones, but they're actually the ones who are observant, or they've been overtly targeted because part of the system's agenda is to make a person who is a truth teller look crazy because they're doing such abhorrent things that anyone who's speaking truth is going to be exposing their abhorrent activities, and they don't want like streets full of pitchforks and flames. So it's an old problem. I think they had the same thing around the French Revolution times, just before then, didn't they? Which I believe will be approaching quite soon, hopefully. But I'm guessing it's probably around 5 to 10 years away, unfortunately. So we just have to survive until then, because they're also cooking us in our homes. So I wanted to look at this agenda, because part of the agenda is to break up families. So break up the nuclear family, pervert, twist, sexuality, pervert, break up families, divide people, interracial, like blend the races is part of it as well. Because they believe, the elites believe that they should stick to their own bloodlines, you see. And they see that as a strength. That's why some of them have webbed toes and shit. Oh, sorry. I'm just asking for it these days. Anyway, what I'll do, what I'm gonna do. That's why they like to fuck their cousins as well. But anyway, what I'll do, and other people's children. So I'll continue on though. Depopulation. So let's look at this. This is evidence. Exhibit number one that most people have no fucking idea even exists, right? The Georgia Guidestones. What does it say? The 10 Commandments of the Illuminati. Let's look at this little one. This is the one this is the great one, really, isn't it? Maintain humanity. like how highly opinionated of themselves these people think they are, right? They need to maintain humanity, because humanity just can't maintain itself after all. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. I love that bit on the end, right? It's like commit genocide in balance with nature. So you get the idea. These guys are tapped, right? Okay, so they destroyed these, by the way, at some time, special number time, some Masonic rubbish. But they were obviously put up by some rich elite scum who thinks they're God. They literally think they're God. And everything that's happening today is in accordance to this little 10 Commandments of the Illuminati, the Illuminati scum. That like to call themselves illuminated and elite. Oh, I was just so elite. I just don't know how to handle all these commoners. And so you get the gist anyway, right? So they're obviously bored off being told that they're better than everyone else, which it never ends well. It's a great way to create psychopaths. Yeah, it's a prerequisite generally. You need to, well, it's a prerequisite for creating elitists. By telling them that they're the best thing since sliced bread and everyone else is a piece of crap, and that we can be treated like the others are like animals. You see, they're not as good because they just don't have as much money in their bank accounts. So it's like that. Anyway, I could go on about this for quite some time, but my little guys just gave me a little thing. They do this thing where they switch off my screen. It just went black for about 3 seconds and it's come back though. It always comes back. Okay, so they did fry one of my keyboards once, which was another story, but anyway, I ended up upgrading and getting a bloody, because I was like, I've only had this for 2 weeks and they gave me a better one. So I was just like, yeah, thanks for frying my keyboard, jerks. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk about that. What does it say? It wants to maintain 500, that nebulous New World Order sympathiser group, which includes our politicians, mind you, don't be fooled. And it includes the US politicians, Australia's politicians, New Zealand. So it's the world. They've got world, and they pretend, like the politicians pretend like they do. It's the New World Order. I've never heard of it. Like just so that they can continue killing us in our beds. So this ties back into my agenda, right? My agenda, the agenda, which basically says that we need to reduce the population and get rid of 15 out of 16 people. That's all. It's all right. It's okay. So I'll just get all of yous. For every 16 people that you know, so say 160 people, you need to get rid of 150 of them. So just choose 10 out of your close group of 150 people that you want to keep around, and we'll get rid of the rest. Unfortunately, it's not your choice. No, they choose that. And how do they choose that? Well, they've got very advanced algorithms. They haven't just sat there and gone through everyone's file. David, he did quite well for us back here, and he seems to follow orders quite well. No. What they do is they sucked all your data out of your health data, your Facebook, your fucking phone calls, your emails, and they went, oh, well, first we should get rid of those ones that speak badly about us. So look, this one's very, very, look. He said something bad about the Queen. This one realized that the vaccines were actually mind control poison and designed to slow kill everyone. so that people didn't realise. But it was so effective that some people dropped dead the day after they had it, and we marked them down as a COVID death. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so anyway, this is what it is. This is what this is. This is why I'm getting irradiated in my bed and made to look crazy at the same time, because they could have just killed us all. But then that's a lot of people dead at the same time. And then those people that are left, even if they were the compliant ones, are going to start to ask questions. Why did everyone just why did 1% of the population just drop dead? This is a global phenomenon. What's happening? People are being targeted globally. This is what this is. It's a genocide. It's a controlled demolition of the population, right? It's basically, and all of your big knobs at the top, corporates, governments, agencies, non-government organisations, they're all part of it. They're all part of it. The Intel are the ones who organise it. And the Illuminati scum at the very top, they're the ones who instigated it. And the WF, of course, champion it. And our hospitals follow the orders of these elites. And they are often run by the upper levels by people with a lot of money, at least. And they're controlled by the money, right? And our police are in on it. They've gotten rid of the good ones. All of them left. And you want to know why Australia got rid of under 16s online? Because all this is coming out. Notice how it happened just before the Epstein files. Oh, we better get rid, we've got to save the children. Oh, we don't want them to get harmed. Oh, by the way, the Epstein files just came out. We're raping all the children. Just as well we kick them off here so that all the adults who realise that our poisonous leaders are trying to kill us in our beds. Yeah? And they're talking about that. We don't want the kids to know, because when they're killing 15 out of 16 of us, they probably want the young ones. And they don't want them free thinking either. They want them. And that's already happening. And so if you want to know why your kids don't like you, it's because the machine told them not to like you. I'm not saying they don't have their own minds, but I am saying their minds are being heavily influenced. These weapons in the sky and on our cell towers send voices directly into the heads of every person, customized to each person. They know what we do, where we are, what we say, what we think. And the AI customizes the message into their heads while they sleep to deep implant urges, beliefs, and actions. Don't believe me? How's your life going? Has it been good? How are your relationships? Basically, our leaders are the enemy. If you're fighting anyone but our leaders and the establishment, the filthy establishment, I'm talking about all big tech. I'm talking about all of the filthy telecommunications, our departments of defences, our intels, our frickin' police. A lot of them are complicit as well. A lot of them are oblivious, but at the upper levels, they're complicit. At the upper levels, they are complicit. At the upper levels, they're feeding us absolute BS stories. They're killing guys and saying that the guy killed some police officers in our country. And who was his name? Desi Freeman, a guy who wanted to be sovereign, right? And they say he shot 2 guys and just gone missing. He shot 2 guys and ran into the bushes. He shot 2 cops, apparently. He shot 3, killed 2, this is the story. And then ran off into the bushes with his homemade gun that he shot 3 cops out of 10 that were on his property at the same time, and they didn't pursue him. And all he had was a homemade gun. Come off it, mate. And he hasn't been found since. This is what happened in my state here in Australia, Victoria. This is what they told us. What they didn't tell us is this guy challenged the courts and stood up for his rights as sovereign when he was being dragged through there on, they wouldn't hear his case on another matter, and he knew his rights and he spoke up about it and demanded a citizen's arrest of the magistrate. So of course he became a target, and that's how they deal with targets. They kill them. Some they kill slow, some they kill quick. They don't give a shit as long as they're dead. Anyway, I don't know what the point of this was, except Georgia Guidestones. Go read about them. Go find a website that's not like bullshit, and actually have a read about them. If you want to know what's wrong with the world, it's all from the top down. Spiritually wicked people in high places. They rule the world at this point in time. Satan has the place, and he has his little voice minions, AI driven, in everyone's freaking heads, pushing hate, division, pain, suffering, increasing all ailments, everything. People are getting sick more. People are killing themselves more. It's not a coincidence. This is the plan. Reduce the population, but let's do it without getting our hands dirty, because we're, too rich for that, So, yeah, and they're twisted fucks. I mean, just look at the Epstein files. And look at all the stuff to do with the mind control stuff, and the genetic modifying stuff, and the, made to order babies. Like, come off it, mate. It's a fucking sick world we live in, and the sickest reside at the top. That's why they were chosen. And if it wasn't why they were chosen, then they were twisted after they got there so that they could hold it over them. That's how come the world's fallen into disrepute. These people use perverse sex as a mechanism to bond so that they're all in it together. Oh, remember when we fucked that? You get the picture. Rubbing shoulders, right? Rubbing todgers as well, all right? So, anyway, I've said enough, possibly too much, but I hope yous are all well. Peace, love, and yeah, let's expose these ferals. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. I guess like they've probably got robots that can fly and shit. An AI freaking drone swarms, but it's like, I don't know, maybe we could confuse them or something somehow. Talcum powder or something, I don't know. I'm still coming up with ideas. But the least we can do is make them feel really fucking shit before they kill us, right? All right, ciao, I'm out.